you know, the lady that gave you the golden buzzer, do you know what I mean? Because I just wanted to impress her and do her proud and just be like, thanks for doing that.
Sydnie Christmas captured hearts the moment she stepped onto the stage, delivering a performance that felt nothing short of magical. An unexpected song choice, a standing ovation, and a golden buzzer moment turned her audition into instant history. Yet, behind the applause and spotlight lies a far more complex story, one shaped by quiet struggles and unseen challenges. What happens when extraordinary talent collides with personal hardship? Sydnie's journey from hopeful performer to Britain's Got Talent winner.
Hello everyone, my name is Sydnie Christmas. I'm a singer from Kent and I'm the lucky winner.
Reveals that success is rarely as effortless as it appears. Early dreams and hidden struggles. Sydnie Christmas's journey began far from the bright lights and roaring applause she would later command. Born in Gravesend, Kent.
My name's Sydnie Christmas.
Sydnie, where are you from?
Raised in Kent, just moved to London.
A town rich in history but modest in fame, she grew up quietly nurturing a passion that few knew about. From an early age, Sydnie displayed a natural flair for singing, recording her first song when she was just 4 years old. Even her grandmother recalled how Sydnie's voice filled their home long before anyone thought she might one day perform on big stages. Yet childhood dreams rarely unfold without obstacles. Before she set her sights on the performing arts, Sydnie's life followed a different course. She was a rugby player, testing her strength and resilience in a demanding sport. This early chapter of her life hinted at the toughness she would need to survive the entertainment industry's unpredictable nature. Despite her raw talent and childhood ambition, the path to becoming a recognized performer remained steep and uncertain. Sydnie's passion for performance was paired with a competing reality that success is never guaranteed. Raised with the dream of making it professionally in a highly competitive field, she was constantly aware of the sacrifices necessary to get ahead. Her journey quietly carried the weight of endless auditions, small roles, and setbacks that are often invisible to the public eye. Behind her poised stage presence lay untold stories of struggle and self-doubt. Although her talent was undeniable, Sydnie faced the harsh truth that passion alone does not open all doors. Many promising performers encounter feelings of stagnation and frustration when opportunities don't arrive as hoped. Sydnie experienced moments when her aspirations seemed to stall, when the spotlight felt distant, and the promises of fame sounded like distant echoes. These challenges planted seeds of resilience in her character, even as they kept her dreams just out of reach. Despite the difficulties, Sydnie never stopped believing in her voice and presence. The story of her emerging from obscurity is one tempered with quiet perseverance and an unwavering commitment to her craft. This early stage of her life set the tone for everything that was to come, a blend of hope and hardship that shaped her ambitions and prepared her for the battles ahead. She was a diamond, forming under pressure, ready to dazzle, but not without pain. Yet, what truly lies beneath the surface of Sydnie's rise to fame remains a layered tale of both light and shadow. The world would soon see her radiant performances, but few were aware of the internal struggles she faced. What was it in her past that shaped the person who would stand on Britain's Got Talent's big stage? The full picture was more complex than anyone anticipated, hinting at heartaches yet to be fully understood. As Sydnie's story begins, the seeds of triumph and tragedy are intertwined. Her early years were marked not only by dreams, but by challenges that called her courage into question time and again. These hidden struggles would play a crucial role in the story behind her success, suggesting that the path to greatness is often forged in moments of deep personal trial. The real question was how she would transform pain into performance. In this way, Sydnie's beginnings hinted at more than just a gifted singer. They revealed a fighter, someone who, despite unseen hardships, kept moving forward. The stage was not simply a place for her talent to shine. It was the battleground where her resilience would be tested and proven. This duality between light and struggle set the foundation for the remarkable journey that audiences would soon witness. Her early dreams and hidden struggles created a powerful contrast that would capture the hearts of many. As viewers cheered for the performer, they remained unaware of the silent battles she fought behind the scenes. These early chapters of Sydnie Christmas's life remain essential to understanding the complexity and depth of her true story. There was so much more than just audition footage and applause waiting to be uncovered. From this quiet beginning, the road to professional performance demanded more than passion alone. It required skill, discipline, and an unyielding will. Training and building skills. Sydnie's commitment to her dream led her to the prestigious DNB Academy of Performing Arts in the United Kingdom, a place known for nurturing young, vibrant talents in acting, singing, and dancing. At this academy, Sydnie began formal training, learning the fundamental building blocks necessary to succeed in the highly competitive world of performing arts. The curriculum was rigorous and demanding, pushing her to sharpen every element of her craft. This phase marked a turning point from raw potential to a skilled artist. The Academy's environment was both energizing and challenging, a crucible where Sydnie competed for opportunities and honed her abilities alongside peers equally hungry to succeed. Here, she learned not only how to sing or act, but how to command a stage with confidence and presence. It was a place of growth that shaped her into a performer who could handle the pressures of live audiences and industry expectations. Every lesson and rehearsal chipped away at her self-doubt, building the foundation for her future success. Sydnie, a graduate of 2014, was determined to enter the professional theater world and offer her talent after years of training. The Academy's influence was not just limited to the technical skills she acquired, but it also imparted to her the right mindset needed to deal with the entertainment industry's often cruel and demanding realities. It was obvious that hard work and proper background were the key factors, but at the same time, Sydnie understood that being talented was not enough to open the doors that she wished to go through. Weaving her costume, the path became very unfamiliar to her, regardless of her preparation. The switching from a student to a professional comes with its own difficulties as competition gets fiercer and the stakes higher. There were not enough opportunities, and Sydnie was dealing with the same problem that many new artists face: how to keep oneself seen and up to date in such a crowded area. The rigorous training she received at DNB sustained her during the times when the light was not on her and the future was dark. Resulting from her endurance, Sydnie was soon in and out of different roles, testing her ability and adaptability. Each new play was an opportunity for her to go on growing, to continue perfecting the knowledge acquired during the training. The Academy's teachings were present in every audition and rehearsal, thus reminding the actors of the enormous importance of persistence and flexibility. Her path was a smooth upward one, but it was still full of both little victories and tricking defeats that would ultimately strengthen her determination. The Academy experience was profoundly transformative, not only for Sydnie's talents, but also for her storytelling and emotional sharing techniques. The audiences being well and truly reheated by the artist's true connection was a foundational element of her performance method. This level of training prepared her to turn even a well-known song into a very private moment with the audience, where she would get them to connect with her through the song. The DNB Academy was not just a school, it was the creator of her professional self. From these formative experiences, Sydnie was banking on more than ability. She was preparing to face the uphill battle that the entertainment industry often is. Early career and on-stage debut. After graduating, Sydnie took her first professional steps into the theater world, debuting in the acclaimed production of Lazarus at King's Cross Theatre. This show, a jukebox musical centered on David Bowie's music, was a significant milestone that introduced her to the professional theater sphere. Being part of such a high-profile production gave her a taste of the industry's demands and rewards, solidifying her identity as a professional performer. It marked the shift from training to real-world exposure. Sydney, after finishing her stint with Lazarus, went on to widen her horizons by presenting her art on big cruise liners like Independence of the Seas and Quantum of the Seas from Royal Caribbean. Her participation in the vibrantly themed productions of Grease and Starlight Express required such traits as high energy and versatility. The constant shows in such a strange place called for her to have stamina, among others. And indeed, she had these qualities, and they helped her evolve into a better entertainer. The trips also facilitated her to reach out to the world through the audience, and at the same time, she was honing her skills under the most uncommon conditions of stagecraft. The pros and cons of performing on cruise ships were both the case. On one side, Sydney managed to grow her talent, but on the other side, it opened her up to the dark side of the performing arts and their hardships. Her time on the ship might have increased her skills, but it was also accompanied by the cost of physical and emotional pain, which is experienced by most of the artists. However, in all this, Sydney was smart enough to consider these misfortunes as the very things that would pull her closer to her larger dreams. It was a strong signal of her dedication to the art and her willingness to go anywhere just to be on stage. Most of the time, however, these were difficult circumstances for Sydney. She was among the unlucky ones, as there were very few roles for her in the films and TV shows. Disappointments and uncertainties, like with most actors, were part and parcel of the situation she found herself in. At times when she was not acting, she took on all sorts of jobs to stay afloat, including a receptionist position in a gym, thus indicating that even the most talented performers are often forced to take up survival jobs between gigs. This situation was in sharp contrast to the glamorous image that was being projected on the television screens and reminded her that reality is rarely as glamorous as fame. Her journey reveals the extent of perseverance expected to make it in the arts, where hard work is met with intense competition. While balancing her acting career and the tough demands of the ship, Sydney's devotion to the stage never wavered. The vibrant aura, whether coming from a large or small stage, was a testament to her love for the art that would not be suppressed even by adversities. Her presence on cruise ships and small productions also added to her versatility, making her realize the power of emotional connection with different types of audiences. Each performance was not only about singing or dancing, but also about narrating and feeling released. These lessons were crucial since she was to go through the process of delivering the full range of her raw talent to a bigger audience. Sydney was not only gaining experience, but also nurturing her artistry. The challenges behind the scenes were as real as the applause, and it soon became apparent that this early career phase would put more than her talent to the test. It required all her patience, resilience, support, and adaptability, which were the very qualities that she was cultivating. With every performance, the foundations of the future greatness were being laid, even though the world had not yet perceived the entire bloom. This phase was vital, since it not only cemented the breakthrough that was eventually to be encountered by Sydney, but also the success was often determined by the persistence that came in the form of behind-the-scenes work. The journey was long and full of ups and downs, yet each step took her one step closer to the spotlight that she so rightly deserved. As Sydney's story continued, the pressures and demands of reality television would soon present a new set of challenges that would push her determination still further. Reality TV exposure and challenges. Sydnie Christmas's career took a pivotal turn when she appeared on the E4 reality show Stage School in 2016 and 2017. The series, often compared to Glee, documented the intense training and emotional roller coaster faced by aspiring performers trying to break into the tough world of dramatic arts. Sydney quickly distinguished herself with a powerful voice and undeniable stage presence, setting her apart from many contestants. Yet, this opportunity also exposed her to new levels of pressure and scrutiny, revealing the harsh realities lurking behind the spotlight. Stage school didn't just showcase talent. It revealed the demanding lifestyle of young performers juggling rehearsals, performances, relationships, and self-doubt. For Sydnie, it was not only a chance to be seen, but a test of resilience against setbacks that often accompany a career in entertainment. Viewers saw her as a standout, with some applauding her as finally someone who can sing. But the show also peeled back layers of the struggle beneath the surface. This exposure introduced Sydnie to the challenges of sustaining confidence amid fierce competition. Despite the platform, Stage School underscored the unpredictability of an entertainment career. Success was not guaranteed, and even rising stars confronted moments of uncertainty and halted progress. For Sydnie, this meant grappling with feelings of stagnation, a pause that made her question whether her dreams would fully materialize. Yet, the experience gave her an early glimpse into the demands of public life and prepared her for what lay ahead, ultimately fueling a renewed determination. The impact of reality TV can be viewed as both a blessing and a curse, suggesting that there are advantages and disadvantages at the same time. On one hand, these shows provide the exposure, while on the other hand, they highlight one's vulnerabilities more than usual. Sydnie was at the cutting edge of these behaviors, learning how to deal with criticism and the even more people's expectations of her, and thus learning how to be a very good performer all the time. This experience aided her in recognizing the emotional side of the entertainment world and the mental strength required to survive. It was thus the time when love was challenged by patience. During her days in stage school, it dawned on her that such an environment sometimes demanded talent, and sometimes sheer existence. Besides the natural endowments of singing and dancing, Sydnie realized she had to equip herself with a thick skin and quick adaptability. The whole industry was like a stage school. One's future could easily be dependent on the decision taken or the performance given. It was a learning process during which her skill and her fortitude were both tested. Sydnie was not disheartened by the stalls and setbacks. Instead, she took along the lessons of stage school with her. It was rather her determination that provided the clarity, the realization that to tap her full potential, she would have to take just as drastic steps as those taken in the past. This process of preparation, later on, resulted in making the decision, an audition that not only stunned the judges, but also altered her existence. The moment that followed would forever redefine Sydnie's career and reveal the depth of her talent to a global audience. Britain's Got Talent audition shock. Sydnie Christmas's audition for Britain's Got Talent in 2024 began with a mix of humor and relatability that immediately won over the crowd and judges. Introducing herself with her full name, Sydnie Merry Christmas, she sparked laughter and lightheartedness in the room.
Hello everyone, my name's Sydnie Christmas.
Sydnie Merry Christmas? Did your mum seriously name you that?
Breaking the ice before she even sang a note. Despite working as a receptionist at a gym, her honest and humble approach made the judges and audience ready to discover the talent hidden just beneath the surface. Her song choice was unexpected. Tomorrow, from the classic 1977 musical Annie, a tune she revealed she hadn't sung publicly since childhood, 24 years earlier. Choosing such a notoriously difficult piece surprised many, including Simon Cowell, who initially expressed concern over the song's challenging nature. This hesitation added an extra layer of tension, with doubts about whether she could truly pull it off. But Sydnie was undeterred by skepticism. Instead, Simon's doubt seemed to steel her resolve to prove her capability. As she began to sing, the room's energy shifted dramatically. The performance unfolded into something extraordinary, emotional, powerful, and uniquely hers. Each note carried a blend of strength and vulnerability that mesmerized everyone present. Viewers and critics later described her delivery as masterful, praising her diction, timing, and the gospel-like depth that infused a familiar song with new life. Some audience members were moved to tears, captivated by the raw emotion Sydnie conveyed. The uneasy atmosphere transformed into intense appreciation, leading to a standing ovation that echoed her triumph. The judges responded with heartfelt admiration. Bruno Tonioli called her an energetic artist who combined singing with a captivating presence, while Amanda Holden famously declared it the best version of that song she had ever heard.
The stage, but how you were like entertaining everyone, but then you brought us the most heartfelt, beautiful version of that song.
The performance transcended expectations, turning an audition into a moment of pure magic. Then came the golden buzzer, a moment that marked immediate advancement to the semi-finals and one of the most memorable highlights of the season. Amanda Holden pressed the button, showering Sydnie in golden confetti and affirming her place among the competition's elite. The surprise was palpable. A contestant who had appeared so unassuming had revealed a voice and soul that commanded attention. Simon Cowell, who had initially doubted the song choice, admitted that Sydnie's performance changed his mind. He praised her brilliance, acknowledging that she had made a challenging decision work in her favor through sheer talent and determination. This remarkable turnaround underscored the unpredictability of the competition and the power of genuine artistry. From this transformative moment, Sydnie stepped fully into the spotlight.
Please welcome Sydnie Christmas!
Ready to continue an extraordinary journey that few could have predicted. The emotional power of her audition set the stage for performances that would deepen her connection with fans and define her growing career. Rise to fame and emotional performances. After her golden buzzer moment on Britain's Got Talent, Sydnie Christmas's journey entered a thrilling new phase filled with powerful performances that deepened her connection to audiences. In the semi-finals, she chose to sing My Way, a song famously associated with Frank Sinatra. This track showcased not only her vocal range but also her remarkable control and emotional depth. The fierce energy she displayed on stage was a declaration of confidence.
To the absolutely fantastic Sydnie Christmas.
Marking her as a formidable contender in the competition. Her delivery of My Way carried a sense of ownership and personal storytelling that resonated widely. Sydnie did not merely perform the song, she inhabited it, conveying layers of passion, reflection, and triumph. This performance further established her as a favorite among viewers, solidifying her standing as a competitor who could hold her own against seasoned artists. Her stage presence was magnetic, drawing the crowd collectively into the emotional journey she laid bare with each note. The intensity Sydnie brought to her performances was matched by a vulnerability that made her relatable and inspiring. This unique combination gave her a compelling authenticity rarely seen in such competitions. Her ability to move audiences emotionally was evident, with both judges and fans recognizing the soulfulness she gifted each song. Through this, she transcended the role of contestant and became a storyteller who lived through her music. Moving into the final stage, Sydnie selected I Dreamed a Dream from the musical Les Miserables, a song demanding not only vocal strength but profound emotional expression. The depth and passion she infused into this performance drew tears from many in the audience. Her voice was strong and resonant, layered with honesty and a palpable sense of longing. It was a performance that confirmed her artistry and ability to touch hearts on a grand scale. Judges praised the raw emotion and technical skill she exhibited, applauding her stage confidence and the way she communicated every lyric with sincerity. Her body language radiated self-assurance and charm, captivating all who watched as if they were part of the story unfolding before them. Before long, Sydnie had transformed from a hopeful performer into a commanding artist whose presence lingered long after the final note. In addition to her vocal prowess, Sydnie's dynamic stagecraft set her apart. She moved with grace and intention, using her entire body to convey the emotional currents of her songs. This physical storytelling amplified her performances, elevating the audience's experience. Each act became not only a musical presentation, but a journey that transported viewers into the very heart of the song. The connection Sydnie established was more than technical mastery. It was emotional communion. Audiences saw a performer who could balance power and softness, strength and vulnerability, in a way that felt genuine and transformative. Her journey through the competition became a testament to the healing and empowering potential of music, touching fans far beyond the stage lights. As the performances culminated, it became clear that Sydnie was not simply competing. She was defining a new standard for what it means to perform with heart and soul. Her rise to fame was marked by performances that were as emotionally stirring as they were vocally impressive, setting the stage for her eventual victory. The journey she shared with the audience was one of resilience, passion, and undeniable talent. From the high of winning, Sydnie took a vital step by embracing the recording studio, a space where her personal vision could take full shape. Post-win career and debut album. After her amazing success in Britain's Got Talent, Sydnie Christmas used the energy to release her first album, My Way, on September 20th, 2024. This album not only marked a significant point in her career, but also a very private project that communicated her spirit from being an unrecognized talent to a famous artist. Fans and critics were in high spirits since this was a release they had been impatiently waiting for. They were curious to know how she was going to convert her experiences into a single and unifying work. My Way was a platform for the outstanding vocal range and emotionality of the artist, which was a reflection of the development and maturity that she had gone through over the years of hard work. The songs of the album revealed her different genres preferences, ranging from the classic American musical hits to the latest pop ballads, demonstrating her flexibility and broad artistic influence. Each song was picked with care to bring out a different side of her character, thus making the album a rich and varied listening experience. The track My Way was one of the most significant and outstanding details, being the modern version of Frank Sinatra's immortal classic My Way. Sydnie was the one who brought new ideas into the song by giving it a contemporary touch, and at the same time relinquished the song's all-time theme, which is the theme of human choices via the song. This reading came to stand as her calling card, a beacon of her differentness and the route she had already traveled in the tough world of music. The album also revisited Tomorrow, the song that had been the one to give her the famous golden buzzer during her audition. Sydnie's recorded version was still like the first one, powerful and full of emotions, but now she had the experience and confidence of the time that had elapsed since that decisive moment. This song, together with others like Unforgettable and Over the Rainbow, was a bridge from listeners to her roots and dreams, and a glimpse into her soul. Sydnie's chosen repertoire depicted a strong affinity with the words, many of the songs being about her personal difficulties and victories. This truthfulness provided the artist with an open and close audience that wasn't intruding, but sharing her journey through the ups and downs. The emotional intensity that was packed in each note raised the album not only to a collection of songs, but also to a story of development. The release of My Way was a turning point in Sydnie's career that increased her influence beyond the stage. It declared her a recording artist with the potential to have a long-lasting career. The album's profound message facilitated her connection to a larger audience and laid the groundwork for her future artistic projects. The album My Way has such a strong impact that the next chapter for Sydnie is to reach the public directly via live concerts, a great opportunity to transfer her music from the sheets to the hearts of people wherever they are.
That is what I call a show-stopping performance. You took my breath away.
The energy of live shows promises a new level of connection and expression for her growing career. Touring and future prospects. Following the success of her debut album, Sydnie Christmas is set to connect with audiences across the UK through a highly anticipated 2025 tour. Launching on February 9th at the King's Theatre in Glasgow, the tour marks a pivotal step in her evolution from television sensation and recording artist to a confident live performer. Designed to showcase her exceptional vocal range and commanding stage presence, the tour reflects her growing artistic maturity. The itinerary spans major UK cities, featuring both intimate venues such as the Sea Theatre at the Lowry in Salford and renowned halls like the Liverpool Philharmonic Hall. These varied settings will allow Sydnie to forge personal connections with fans while demonstrating her ability to command spaces of different scales. The close-knit atmosphere of many venues enhances the emotional depth that defines her performances. Audiences can expect a rich and diverse setlist blending show tunes, contemporary ballads, and reimagined classics, alongside tracks from her album. Known for her seamless transitions between soft, expressive phrasing and powerful, belt-driven vocals, Sydnie's technical skill and emotional delivery promise captivating live shows. Though touring is physically demanding, Sydnie's background in theater and cruise ship performances has prepared her well. Her discipline, resilience, and focus on vocal health provide a strong foundation for sustaining high-quality performances night after night. More than a tour, this chapter represents long-term career growth. Live performance allows Sydnie to build loyal audiences and transform early fame into a lasting artistic journey. With a clear sense of purpose and a message rooted in empowerment, she is poised to leave a meaningful and enduring impact on the music industry. This exciting new chapter in Sydnie Christmas's career holds promise and opportunity, inviting fans old and new to witness the unfolding story of a remarkable artist whose journey continues to inspire. Sydnie Christmas's story is one of resilience, talent, and transformation, reminding us that behind every victory lies untold struggle. Her rise from aspiring performer to Britain's Got Talent champion and recording artist is truly inspiring. If you enjoyed this deep dive into her journey, don't forget to like and subscribe for more stories that uncover the real lives behind the spotlight.